What's up, guys? Tim in the North back with some more Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition Ranked Ladder. Today we are in Arabia. My opponent, Ogolox, GL Ogolox, is playing as the Mongols, and I'm back on the Byzantines. Trying to rebound from some pretty rough losses, trying to learn this Civ. I think my biggest challenge with the Byzantines, I feel like there's not like a unit that I like to use with this Civ. I feel like, I guess the optimal unit to produce is the cheaper camels, which are kind of nice whenever, you know, somebody wants a night spam, but it's just not something I'm like in love with. It does get paladin though, which is kind of cool. But yeah, anyway, we're in Arabia today. I'm still trying to get better with the Byzantines before moving on to another Civ. Talked about this a little bit in the last game that I covered Byzantines. We obviously have a defensive civilization here, so I've been leaning on that with castles and being able to fall back. Mongols, their hunters work fast, so they're great in feudal age. They have cav archers. I think they're one of the better cav archer civs, if not the best. But yeah, I am familiar with their faster consumption of the wild animals. So yeah, we're in this thing. We're gonna speed this up because it's dark age things, and there's not a whole lot to talk about this or make fun of the build order that I did this time around, because I didn't mess up that much. I think this guy's gonna grab a boar, but yeah, I kind of need some advice on civs to try. I wouldn't consider myself a beginner, so I think it's the Vietnamese is often recommended as a starting civ, because I think that's the civ. It gives a visibility bonus on your opponent's town center and stuff. But yeah, so I'll take some recommendations if anyone's got them. Bringing my last boar as we are approaching 17 vills. A little bit of idle TC time, pretty close to me, my opponent. Worker efficiency is also pretty much equal at this point, which is actually pretty good considering I went for the mill on the rabbits. My opponent did not opt for that, so I'll take it. I'm getting cleaner, I guess, on my build orders. But yeah, so we're getting ready to come out of Dark Ages and go into Feudal Age. I have no idea where my opponent is at this point. I have not found their base. My scout is probably sleeping over here behind the tree somewhere. So this is not great placement at all. I wish I could have scouted better, but you know, that's kind of what happens is I'm like, oh, I don't have to push any hunt this game, so then I get lazy and I don't scout. So given a freebie and I don't take it. I bring these guys out to help me scout the map a little bit. Obviously we can see over here capture age. I'm gonna get cut off over here, which is kind of rough. We can probably come back down to normal speed here. So my opponent is going with a scout rush, something I liked about a year ago when I was playing this game before I came back. It felt super powerful, and then I came back and started doing the scout rush, and it just felt like garbage. So it's cool to see this still being used, I guess. I guess I should thank my opponent for killing off those units, because I ended up not buying the Man-at-Arms upgrade, which actually kind of threw me off, because I was like, now what the hell do I do? So I guess my option was to produce spearmen. That's all I could think of. Yeah, so now I'm kind of stuck. Weird base here. I feel like I'm out further than I normally am. I feel like there's usually an edge that I'm pretty close to. I do have 4 tree lines, which is kind of nice. So I think that's kind of what threw me off, is I wasn't near a border. But I guess the base isn't bad. I just felt awkward. But hey, it's It's all good. I've had really bad Arabia generations lately, so I really shouldn't complain. So I'm gonna grab a market here, and I am just going to try and hold this down because I know my opponent is producing scouts. One thing to keep in mind, you know, it's great to pressure an opponent early in Feudal Age. Usually it's not great to go for a kill shot because it's very difficult because, you know, Vils can, you know, protect themselves with buildings. But usually there's an over-investment in units. And in my mind right now, I'm trying to, you know, get to Castle Age with minimal spending as possible. So my opponent attacks these Vils. I lose a Spearman. This Spearman's trying to target the one that was weak, and we got him. We took another scout out. So one scout versus all these Vils, not a great matchup for my opponent. There's another scout out here. And we're going to keep a close eye on the kill deaths here, 5 and 6. I have lost a couple... What's going on here? Who's getting hit? Oh, he was hitting my... I heard the sword. There's my mill that was getting hit. So, yeah, we're going to keep a close eye on kill deaths here. Scouts are, I think, 80 food to produce, so they're not cheap. They're definitely not cheap. I might lose... Did not lose the Vil. The Spearman was there. Did I say knights? Scouts. Am I having a stroke right now? What the hell's going on? Anyway, I'm trying to watch this and, you know, talk, but I think it's like 80 food or maybe 65 somewhere. It's expensive to produce scouts, especially in Feudal Age. So some more pressure over here. I'm gonna lose a almost. We're gonna sneak around back with that one. We're hitting the house here. There's another scout. I'm freaking out right now. This Vil does go down. This scout is gonna escape with... Oh, he's dead. So 3 scouts here. My opponent's sending another scout forward. It's kind of crazy. That's a lot of scouts. My opponents should have well been into Castle Age range for food. He has nobody on gold though, so that's what's going to keep him back. A lot of people were on wood and farms. So yeah, up to 700 food. I'm almost up to 7. I'm trying to get to Castle Age. I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I don't like using these spearmen. They're too slow. But yeah, my opponent's parked outside with four scouts. There's one over here, and there's another one in the queue. So much food. I've clicked up the Castle Age. In my mind, I'm like, if I can get up the Castle Age, I can produce some camels. They're pretty quick, and they'll counter this without having to invest in the spearmen. So a lot of resources spent by my opponent, 7 deaths to get 1 kill per Vil. So I've done the right things to keep Vils alive up to this point. And I think it's important to say that up to this point. Kind of not sure what to do here. My spearmen are split out. This guy's gonna go down. Doesn't have a chance. I want to pull these back, but I'm also trying to build a wall here. Trying to get into some town center fire. Still 1. We're doing okay. This guy... Oh, Spearman comes in to save him. This Spearman's gonna go down again, though. Another one. And these 2 are grouped together. This is not what my opponent wants to fight. We're walled up here, though. For now. Oh. 9 kills? These are my spearmen, right? 7 deaths. I have 7 kills. My opponent has 9 kills. I'm losing spearmen, which are, you know, they're an investment, but they're not as steep as the scouts. In the Castle Age, immediately queue up 3 camel riders. Oh, should have just reached over a little bit. try to drop a house and a wall here. So I don't have to lose a gold. This is a favorable matchup for me. Might lose this Ville. Lost a second Ville. At a cost, though. It was expensive. Yeah. Pretty healthy Villes right there he ran into, so not much of a chance there. Yeah, so kind of rough. A lot of pressure in the base right now. My opponent's had a lot of time to just kind of, you know, sit around here. He's got a lot on gold. Running around here isn't super optimal either. I'm down to almost 50% worker efficiency, which isn't great. So, you know, there was a lot of pressure. It's understandable, I guess. I'm trying to bounce back here and figure out what I'm going to do. My base is an absolute nightmare. I still don't know where my opponent is. So I'm assuming I'm like walling for here, but really I should be walling over here. Yeah. So kind of blind right now, and I don't really know what to do. I'm gonna drop a third town center back here on the stone and, you know, 2 tree lines. This is a nice cozy spot. This one's more for protection with gold and being on trees. We do want to drop a monastery. Even though I've seen a lot of scouts, I'm assuming that we're gonna go cav over here. My opponent is also opted to throw camels out there, so yeah, we're finally at my opponent's base. I can see the building, so I know I'm in the right spot. Gonna grab some upgrades. My opponent does already have forging. Still hanging out here. Opponent is sticking to 1 town center, it seems. Not investing in another one. So more of an all-in approach here. And I guess they feel comfortable just moving over to the camel riders. I mean, I guess I don't really blame them. Especially with the amount of pressure he got in my base. He's probably like, this guy's a complete moron and does not know how to wall his base up. So this should be a nice, easy win for me. I'm trying to change that. I'm trying to get some houses here to block this. Like I said, I have some protections here. These guys can run back. But yeah, so some pressure coming in over here. This is not going to be good for me. I'm pulling my... So let's go back a little bit. I think I saw this. Bringing my monk out. Yep, saw this and brought the monk back so he doesn't get trampled. It took me a little bit of time to run this back this way, though, right? Maybe I just pulled it this way for that relic. I think that's what happened. I gave myself credit. But yeah, so this is not great. We're in pretty rough shape right now. I have a lot of units over here. Another spearman, which is going to get thrown to the fodder there. And I'm going to put some quick walls down. So the gold is protected at this point. And now I'm going to bring my military over this way. I've garrisoned inside of this town center, but this is bad here. I believe this is open. And my opponent's going to go right for it. So now we're in trouble. I do have the monk here. I want to try and convert one of these before it gets too late. I'm trying to get some of my military in there. And I am losing vills. So I put a house down here to block a little bit. And I have shot up to 7 eco deaths here. So... took a bit of a hit, but I am still ahead of my opponent, simply because of the fact that my opponent has opted for 1 town center, and I have 3 producing right now. Opponent's coming back this way, and he's gonna get in. Brutal. We're gonna get a conversion here. Opponent, I guess, opted to not kill these and wanted to go for the monk instead. I still have 2. That was I had 3 on the field. And yeah, still just a lot of pressure on my base. I have not been able to lock this down I don't really have much happening with stone to get a castle up yet, so I'm kind of just, you know, stuck in this defensive formation. Pressure keeps coming in over here. I'm walled up pretty well over here, so there's not too much stress happening. But I have to figure something out soon, because I do not know that my opponent is on 1 town center and now putting down 2 to catch back up. But yeah, it's not looking good right now. Opponent's grabbing some eco upgrades, which I'm still on double Bit-Axe. My opponent has grabbed Bowsaw, so gathering wood pretty quickly here. Also, I'm not great with monks, and I've decided to start trying to use them a bit more, because some of the things I've seen people do with those are pretty crazy. You won't see me do that this game, that's for sure. Also, the monks are nice to heal up units. So, yeah, trying to just, like I said, lock this down. I have a lot of gold. Again, I've been having games where I'm just floating so much gold and not taking advantage of the market as much as I probably should. Or, you know, separating the villas appropriately to have a more balanced economy. My opponent is 24 on food, whereas I'm 21. I do have more villas though, so I guess that's why I look to be more balanced. Or, you know, I'm gathering more. Okay, so we've bought some stone. We want to place a castle. I'm thinking about it, and these guys have seen enough terror, so they're going to be the ones to build this castle here. They're willing to forfeit their lives. My opponent's still massing military. It's been a little bit tougher for them because they're trying to produce out of more town centers and get enough houses down, whereas I'm up to 120 because I spammed a bunch of houses because of the town center situation. So both massing the same unit here. My army's value is a bit more. It's probably largely because I have more units. They're cheaper, but I also have monks on the field. So, coming in here, going to attack buildings. I have enough to probably get a house down, but also to defend whoever is attacking the house, so I don't have to pull somebody off the house. So this guy comes out here as a lone wolf, and then we're going to meet here in the center here, and I had a monk back here to try and convert. This castle didn't go up in enough time to really protect that monk, but the numbers should be in my favor. Good enough pressure to get them down. The monk's there to support. Back on the house. My opponent calls it GG. Yeah, so kind of a crazy one. I almost tapped out when we were running through this wood line. Little frustrated when I was playing because I could not get this locked down at all. I think if I would have lost a few more vills, I probably would have tapped. Not that it would have made a ton of difference, because I think my opponent pivoting to 3 town centers, like midway through Castle Age, probably slowed down their military enough for me to, you know, mass on my own. But they did have really good pressure, so I don't know. But yeah, I thought it was a fun one. Finally getting comfortable with Byzantines. I think I have a few more I'm gonna upload, and then I'll move to another civ. I'll probably just pull one out of the hat unless I get a recommendation. So that's gonna do it for me, guys. For now, feel free to like, comment, consider subscribing if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.